Hello, and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, and let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to do the little like button or leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. If this is your first time, put it in the comments. I want to hear about all the people who are watching for the first time. Okay. And so we have, immediately I'm seeing Sacred Heart, Goat. We have another heart up there. Oh, and we have, look at that, a face. That looks like a satyr to me. So we have the eyes, the nose, the mouth. Okay, it's looking this way, right over this way. Kind of wild hair, maybe some horns. Okay, you can see kind of right there. So the satyr is like Pan, right? The god Pan. If you could think of kind of a half goat, half person, half human. And so the satyrs are the companions of Pan. And when we see these fellas, it is a sign of being out in the wilderness, dancing, joyousness, ecstasy, just absolutely getting into the kind of energy of things, the groupthink of things, the shared and collective vibe, right? I always think of kind of our more modern version is going to like a festival, a music festival, or a big concert, or even like a rave or something like that, right? Where there's just an immense energy building. For my family and I, we go to a polka festival every year. Now, nobody in our family is German or, I don't know who else, not Norwegian, or whoever, Swedish. It's more of the region we live in, and it's fun. But when you go, it's the polka festivals here are usually in the summer, and a lot of them are outdoors. And or they have a dance hall with the doors open, and it is so hot in there, but it's so fun because it's just the music is fun, the people are dancing to the beat of it, and there is an ecstatic energy that comes about. It's fun, it's just alive. There's a feeling, it's palpable. So this is that kind of energy. If you can think of being in a really hot room with a kind of loud music and everybody connected in their movements and the kind of ocean of people swaying and moving and singing along and so on. Now, it doesn't have to be that you are going to a music event, of course, but I think that within your life there is this real desire to be in connection with others, to be in a mode of celebration, of enjoyment, of letting go of some of those worries, the stresses, the real world, right? Maybe it is that you are going on some kind of vacation, or you are going to an event of some kind that will let you kind of be really immersed in the atmosphere of the thing. But yes, I absolutely feel there is this bacchanalian energy flowing through your life. And now here's the part where I remind you, be aware. Be aware of getting a little too out there, right? Getting, losing your inhibitions a little too much, right? Just make sure that it's, you're sticking to your routines. You are, meeting your responsibilities and taking care of self, not partying too hard or just losing your will to stay the course, right? It's kind of like you go on vacation and you never want to go back. You just don't. But most of us do. We have to go home at some point, right? Now, we also have the goat and we have the sacred heart. Okay, we also have a person standing over here next to that satyr head with hand lifted in a kind of devotional posture. Okay, if you could imagine kind of having a hand raised up to the sky in prayer maybe, right? So we know that the goat is a symbol of the ability to transcend difficult situations, the ability to traverse, just some of the most impossible circumstances, right? If you can think of a goat climbing up the side of a hill or a mountain, looking for those little footholds where most of us see none, the goat will find the tiniest little rock jutting out, the little pebble, and, elevate itself, continue to move upwards. So I feel that, this really is an indication of your kind of wherewithal. You are gritty. You're not going to be, fallen and not able to kind of dust yourself off and get back up and get going, right? No, first of all, you rarely fall anyways, right? You're not gonna fail too often. We're talking about a Taurus here. But when you do fail, right, you make good use of it. You learn, you adjust. And so, yeah, you're tough. You make things happen. There might be a whole world of people saying that, you can't do that. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have the ability, the skill, and yet you get it done. And not only do you get it done, you thrive. And you have a sunny disposition while you're doing it. You're fun, you're silly, you're charming, and you get things done. Now, we have the Sacred Heart, okay? So the Sacred Heart is a Catholic symbol. It's been coming up a lot lately. It is a symbol of agape. What is agape? This is the love that we share with the divine, right? This is your love of God and God's love of you. Goddess, divinity, the cosmos. Maybe you have a vast pantheon. Maybe none at all, right? It doesn't matter what that looks like for you. We all have the capacity for divine love, okay? And so I do feel like this is an important part of your being. This is something that you are focused on. Now, it might be that you've lived a life where you've had some really deep and profound relationships and had your heart broken here and there. But you have found that through your faith, through your spirituality, through your connection with the divine, there's a love there that cannot be challenged. Okay? The love of the divine, to love the divine, is something that is fully yours. Nobody can take that from you. It can not be affected by outside factors unless you decide that it might be, right? Unless you choose, or you know. And often I think that this happens when we have profound tragedies in our life, right? When people transition, pass away, and or there's some kind of devastation in the life, a trauma. Yeah, our faith can be challenged. Does that agape go away? No. But we can decide to wall ourselves off from it, most definitely. Now, I don't think this is the case here, not at all. I feel like you are very devoted to your path, to the spiritual, to the divine, right? This is something that is a priority for you. And you might be somebody who goes to church. You might be somebody, involved in a spiritual community, a magical community, some kind of system. It might be that you are a solitary practitioner. It might be that your faith, your spirituality manifests in other ways, through your artwork, through your service to your community, through the work that you do, quite literally, your job, your career. But whatever it is, this is super important to your life and your lifestyle, okay? Now, we also have a die here with the 2 on it, okay? So I think, I don't gamble. I don't know anything about gambling, but I think that the 2 is called snake eyes. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I like snakes. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I don't know though, so I'm going to have to look that up. But we do have the number 2, okay, on the die. You'll have to tell me, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Or is it within context? Does it change? So we got snake eyes there. Now we also have mammaries up here, you can see, okay, very prominent. And so we do have the mother goddess. This is very much related to that Diana, Artemis, middle goddess energy, okay? And this is, yeah, the kind of the life-giving, sustenance-bringing liquid of the gods, right? And that is mother's milk. And so I look at this and I feel like there is a very strong energy of motherhood here, of many mothers before us and many mothers, beyond us. Right? And it doesn't have to be that these are our blood family or our blood lineage, but maybe part of the collective energies of your life. I feel like you have a lot of mother figures in your life. Now, maybe they're not your mother figure. They didn't raise you necessarily, but you have a lot of people who fill that role. Maybe for you, maybe for others. Maybe collectively, you're like, in a mom's group, or you just are really drawn to groupings of women that are very profoundly involved in their motherhood. And maybe now that they're grandparents now, or or looking to become mothers, or whatever it is. It seems like this is an energy that is very present, a consciousness that is really present in your life. And I feel like this is somewhere where you feel quite comfortable. Okay. Now, if you maybe grew up in a household full of women, that could be. And so that extends into your life, you know, going out there in the world, making friends and choosing family and all of that, that you surround yourself with more women, right? And that makes sense. I think also, you know, it doesn't have to be that you are a mother yourself, but I think that you have great qualities of being maternal, okay? And very intuitive, protective, right? I think that you have this quality of unconditional love for those who are close to you. You're also quite empathetic. I think that you're empathetic, but also compassionate. I think you make quite a intentional movement towards treating people well, making them comfortable, creating a space where people can be themselves, where they can speak from the heart. There's not, interestingly, and now I'm thinking, oh, this is a Taurus person, but I feel like there's like not a lot of competition in these realms of your life. I think that you're very intentional about not trying to, you know, vie for attention or one up each other or create this energy of we're all kind of, we're frenemies or whatever it's called. You know, we're always like trying to outdo one another or, you know, have the you know, most successful children or, not for the sake of our children being successful in their own lives, whatever that looks like, but so that you can bring it to the table and say, oh, look at what, you know, little Jimmy did. And isn't he a genius? And, you know, and then the next one is like, wow, mine did this and you know, and it's not like a friendly sharing. It's like where's our position, right? Where am I at the top of the game here or not? I don't think that's the thing. I don't think that you like that energy, and I think there's really a very conscious effort to keep that out of the mix, okay? So I think it's really this kind of idyllic collective lifting one another up, being there for each other, being real, and honest about, things are hard sometimes. Other times, wonderful, you know. It's not all pretty. A lot of it is actually pretty grueling, right? Parenthood, taking care of other people, showing up for people, being of service. You know, it's not always well curated and beautiful and, you know, clean and sterile. A lot of times it's very messy. It's very emotional and stressful. Absolutely. And I think that you're a person, you can be really open about what it is. And I think that's why people, you know, are drawn to you. But I also think that, you know, you have created this kind of collective energy in your life, right? And I think that's really important. It's an important thing. Here comes TT meowing down the hallway. I know, that poor babe. She wants in here so bad, but she just can't stop knocking stuff over, and I can't have it. If you haven't been around for a long time, now the cats haven't been in the videos for months now, but my two cats used to come and visit the readings all the time, and I miss them being here, and I know other people do miss them as well, but they cause havoc. So, okay, so we have a person here. You can see the head, you can see the body. We have a fish, and it looks like we have another fish right here. So immediately I know yeah, this is going to be a period of time where you're also making some money, okay? These are resources coming in. The fish are a symbol of abundance. Now we have 3 of them. So I think that you're going to have 3 separate opportunities to make some extra cash, or, you know, to kind of up your game. This might be a raise, a new position, starting a business, a side hustle, whatever it is. 3 things coming in where, yeah, there's going to be extra money for sure. And, you know, it really comes down to staying focused, applying yourself, right? And taking those opportunities. You know, we can wish all day long to make some money, to be able to, you know, kind of get our flow of fortune coming in. But it's not going to happen unless we're willing to do the work and take chances, right? You know, even if it's something that seems beneath you or, you know, menial work, yeah, sometimes we got to just do the thing. And sometimes we got to make the little bit of money and keep stacking it and keep stacking it and get to where we're going to go, right? You know, and that's just what it is. We've all been there. We're all doing it, you know. You know, I'm just laughing because that's been my life, right? Just eking it out most of the time. You know, I've never not been doing, you know, it is, some of it's skilled stuff, you know, it becomes skilled, but yeah, so I understand kind of the resistance at times, but you know what? Sometimes when we take a chance or we do the thing that we're groaning about, it leads us to an opportunity that's even better. So I think here it is really about deciding I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to work a little harder during this period of time so I can kind of make that money. And that's, you know, I think that's what we got going here. And you will make the money. Okay, so we have a Scorpio person. And I know we've talked about Taurus and Scorpio a few times in the last few months. And I can imagine what a lovely mixture of people. Hot-headed though, right? Oh my goodness. I can imagine a Scorpio person arguing with a Taurus person. But I do think this is somebody important in your life because this looks like kind of a sweet little Scorpio symbol. So definitely not a bad relationship or friendship or whatever it is. Now we have a house. We have maybe, I don't know what that is, a tree possibly. We have a person here walking away from the house, getting on a boat. We have a sailboat over here. So I do believe that there will be some kind of travel coming up for you. Okay, now this may be expected, maybe it's unexpected. I don't know. But I do see you having to, you know, leave the homestead, you know, and get on that boat and go. So, I don't know if this is like you're going on vacation, maybe you're going to visit family, maybe this is for work. It could be any of those things, but maybe it really does because we have this line here. You can see connecting the two scenarios. This involves that Scorpio person. So maybe this is like a family member that you do get along with, right? Maybe it's like one of your siblings or somebody, mom, dad, maybe one of your adult children or children in general. But I do see you all kind of really connecting here, more so than you usually do. Now we also have a person standing here and we have the illuminating light, okay? So there is a sense of revelation happening, some kind of clarity, and I feel like this will come through in your dreams, okay? We also have a little bird up here, so I do feel like this is consciously coming your way. Excuse me, consciously coming your way. Now, this could be, it could be somebody who has transitioned, a family member, something along those lines. But really what I feel like it is kind of the universe sending you this spiritual download. And I feel like this is all, it all kind of ties together, right? It's about that deep spiritual practices and inclinations that you have. But it is all tied into also the work that you do. And I think that, you know, there is a sense of there being abundance through, and I'm superstitious. Let me just tell you, I am very superstitious, but I feel like the work that you're doing in the physical world to make money is very much affected by your relationship with the divine, period, right? So the more that you put into your spiritual work, the better you will do in these other areas of your life, okay? And I think a lot of that just, it has to do with you having a deep meaning to your existence. And when there is something meaningful going on in your life, it is easier for you to do the things that, yeah, maybe it's not your favorite thing to do. Maybe your 9 to 5 is just, it's just that. It's just your 9 to 5. It's just your day job. But having a life of meaning makes all of that so much easier. Okay? So, absolutely, I think it's all very woven together. Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead. We're going to do our divine doors. Okay, and I'm just going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. We have a blue door. Look at that. I love that color, blue. And it says, secret sketches. Wander and seek the familiar and friendly kind. Draw memories and sketches for others to find. Beautiful. This makes me think of... there used to be, and maybe there still is, there was this trend of writing poetry and, you know, drawing little pictures or cartoons and then folding them up, and people would put them in like the pockets of clothes at the thrift store or at the mall or whatever, so that when the person bought the thing, that they would find this little poem or whatever in there. And so that's kind of, I like that kind of guerrilla art energy. It's kind of beautiful, really. Okay, so Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. And if you are a first-time watcher, thank you for making it to the end here. But yeah, let me know. Just post it up. Comment. Say, hey, this is my first time. But it does. It feels nice to see how many people are watching for the first time and what you're feeling and all of that. And so, yeah. All right. I think that's it for today. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk just in a few days from now. Okay. Stay cool. Oh my gosh. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, please stay cool. And if you happen to be in my region of the world and you're dealing with flooding, which, you know, thankfully our house isn't, but my whole area that I live in is flooded. And it's just been devastating. It's been devastating for our community, for the greater community in the upper Midwest here. You know, not only are there a lot of houses underwater, whole towns, bridges falling, a dam yesterday failed. It's just been, I mean, if you're a praying person, please pray for our communities here. I'm trying to stay in good spirits, right? But it's really hard. It is hard to, you know, watch people struggling and just watching things be destroyed, right? It's part of the natural cycles of life. But, you know, if you've ever had any kind of devastation in your life or a natural disaster or loss of any kind, you know, we know logically these things happen, but, you know, it's different when you're there on the ground, and especially if you're going through it, you know. So yes, but I hope you're staying cool. And if you happen to be going through some kind of, you know, weather event, you know, I love you. I'm praying for you and keeping you in my heart. Definitely. Okay. All right, Taurus. Again, I love you. We'll talk soon. Good night.